On the 25th of January 1942, a major disaster took place here. There was a train of 27 wagons unloading 14,000 tons of bombs. Whilst this was taking place, within seconds the roof collapsed, killing all those below. Also, in this area, only months ago, the Mothman was seen, known in the UK as the Owlman. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to RAF Llanberis Reserve Depot.
Noise from down there.
No one move. I need a camera. I need a camera. There's another entity here, a creature of some type. They call Mothman or Owlman.
You a demon?
Come down here.
Is there anything here?
Can you help us, please, and tell us what it is that's here?
Yes, sir, yes. I've been poison. Manufactured records. It's like a light is in my face, but I can't fall for you. I close my eyes and drift away. I'm overdosed on you. Cause then you wake up dead one day.
The Llanberis RAF Reserve Depot. On the 18th of August 1939, the Air Ministry received approval to acquire the disused slate quarry near Llanberis in North Wales, which had closed in 1930. It was deemed suitable for the storage of 18,000 tons of bombs. It consisted of a number of deep open pits linked together by tunnels, and they converted the eastern pit into an underground depot. But because of the great depth of the quarry, the design was adapted to produce a structure with 2 floors. The lower level had a conventional flat reinforced concrete ceiling, which also formed the floor of the upper level, which had an arched roof. Narrow gauge railway lines entered the lower level of the depot through the original quarry access tunnels, while 3 electrical lifts transported bombs to the upper floor. The deep pits to the west of the depot were later used for the burning and dumping of redundant and dismantled ordnance. Overhead protection was given by 40 feet of broken slate to accelerate the construction, but unfortunately the cost cutting had disastrous consequences only 6 months later. On the 25th of January 1942, a train with 27 carriages carrying 14,000 tons of bombs was being unloaded when 2/3 of the structure collapsed within seconds, killing and injuring those below. Most of the bombs were recovered, and although the remaining tunnels were eventually cleared of debris, no ammunition was ever stored underground again. The surviving underground galleries were abandoned, and the collapsed section was used for open storage of incendiaries and as a demolition area, with ordnance being dumped into the pits of the rear of the depot. In 1969, there was long-term activity within the depot in the form of a small RAF detachment of bomb disposal officers. Clearing the dumped weapons, the disposal and removal lasted until October 1975. On completion of the task, approximately 85,000 tons of slate and debris and 352 tons of explosive items, together with 1,420 tons of ordnance debris, had been removed. Since the closure, visitors to the site have reported voices, unexplained noises, and strange lights coming from within the abandoned depot. And recently, there have been several reports of the legendary Mothman, or Owlman as it is known in the UK, being seen to the rear of the depot and within the disused mines. This all started back in November the 12th, 1966 in West Virginia, when 5 grave diggers saw a human-like figure above them in the trees. 3 days later, 2 couples saw a winged figure with red eyes in front of their car. The sightings continued within the Point Pleasant area until December the 15th, 1967, when it was seen on top of the Silver Bridge moments before it collapsed, killing 46 people and injuring many others. In the village of Mornan, Cornwall, in April 1976, 2 teenage girls on holiday saw what they described as a birdman on top of the church. In July of the same year, 2 more teenagers were camping and saw an owl-type creature within the trees with red eyes. The sightings of this entity then continued. Freiburg, Germany, September 1978. Miners came face to face with the creature at the entrance of their mine. It then took off into the air. Chernobyl, in April the 26th, 1986. It was seen in the area for several days before the incident. 9/11. It was seen just before the collapse of the Twin Towers. Minneapolis, August the 1st, 2007 bridge collapse. It was seen on that day near to the bridge. 13 people died. It is said that after being within contact with this creature, people have experienced static interference, hearing voices, hallucination, and nightmares while sleeping. We have set up several static night vision cameras. Static Cam 1 is a full spectrum camera that we have placed on the upper floor facing one of the bomb elevators. Static Cam 2 is on the ground floor covering several of the bomb storage tunnels. And Static Cam 3 is also on the ground floor, which is covering the tunnels and the entrance to the mines. Okay, here we are inside the RAF Llanberis Reserve Bomb Depot. We set up our static cams. We have been hearing the odd noise. It's very echoey inside here though. So it might prove a little bit difficult if something does move. But as I was explaining earlier on, the Mothman, also known as the Owlman here in the UK, has been seen here several months ago and has scared off a few people. So not only have we got that to deal with if we come in contact with that entity, But also we've got all those people that were killed when the roof collapsed, when there was unloading the 14,000 tons of bombs. We don't know how many were killed or injured because it was classed as top secret. So we're here now and we're going to start the investigation. I will also point out that the background noise that you can hear is like a running river. There are mines at the back which we're going to try and access that has running water that some say helps power the paranormal. So I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Jeff. We have Jackie here. We have Phil on this camera and Clive on that camera over there. We've come here today to speak to you. I'm sure this is probably the first time anyone's been here to do an investigation like this, and I suspect that you're wondering what all this equipment is and what we're doing here. So we've come here today to speak to you, those that worked here, those that lost their lives here when that tragedy happened on the 25th of January 1942. Now the equipment that we're using just helps us see you, and also it picks up your voice so we can play back like this device here and hear what you've got to say. So if you'd like to tell us your story, maybe you can tell us more about what happened on that day, because a lot of it has been kept confidential and top secret. So first of all, if you could tell me your name, please. Can I ask you a question? The spirits that are here, perhaps you can help us. There's another entity here, a creature of some type. They call Mothman or Owlman. Do you know who he is or what this thing is? Have you seen it here? Is it here? As we make our way through the ground floor tunnels and bomb storage areas, everything seems quiet. We have heard no noises, nor have we captured any EVPs. Phil, can you point your camera down there? What's that on the wall? Is there someone standing there?
I can see. Can you see anything?
With my eye, my naked eye. You can see the blackness up against the wall. What is that? Is that someone crouching down?
In the corner. I can see it when I hide the screen.
But you can't see it on your camera. Can you see what I mean?
Yeah, it's difficult for my eyes adjusting because I've been looking at the screen of the camera. But yeah, in the corner it looks darker, doesn't it?
It does. Okay, if everyone just stays here a second. Can any of you see this?
We're looking at the screen, Steph, you lose your night vision.
Hello? Jackie? Come here. Just come here a second. Just stop. What's that there? Can you see it?
That black mound.
Something black there. It's not on the camera.
Yeah, I can see it.
Jackie can see it now. I can see you. Who are you? Are you a spirit? Or are you that entity, the angel of death that gives warnings? Everyone stay dead still, no one move. Oh, fuck. Right, just 1 second. Everyone don't move. Shit. No one move. I need a camera. I need a camera. As I walk up to the corner of the wall, I could see a dark figure standing there. I reach out and place my hand on it. As it is not being seen on our full spectrum cams, I ask any of the team for a normal camera to try and capture what I am seeing. I put my hand into, there's a figure standing there about that big. I can see his arms, see his legs, and I put my hand straight where the face was, where the face should be. And it wasn't moving. As I return back to the area, the figure has gone. I take several photographs and all are fine apart from one, which shows a thick white mist.
Who's that down ahead of me? I just heard you move. Do you want to walk down towards me?
Phil hears the sound of walking coming from in front of him, which is picked up on his digital recorder. Also, as this happens, there are two flashes of lights coming from behind the concrete pillar to the left of the screen.
Do you want to walk down towards me? Do you want to walk down towards me? Do you want to walk down towards me? Let me know you're here. Were you here working? Were you here loading bombs?
Phil receives an EVP saying, "Don't come up here. Here is the enhanced audio."
Loading bombs. At the moment, nothing has been released about who worked here because it's still classified. We're here really to find out more about the history of this place and hear your story. Could you help us? If nothing else, perhaps you could give us your name and your rank and your number so that we can find out about you, find out about your family and what sort of life you had.
Behind Clive, the shadow just went right across that beam.
Really?
Yeah. All of this here just blacked out behind Clive whilst he was standing there. The whole lot here.
Okay. What sort of entity are you? Are you a spirit? Are you a demon? Noise from down there. Are you a demon? Are you hiding in the shadows? There's more noise down there.
Were you once in West Virginia, Point Pleasant, the collapse of the bridge? Was you at the collapse of those twin towers? Chernobyl? Are you that entity? If you are, then come towards me. I know a lot about you. Come down here. Come and stand in front of me. A voice is picked up on our camera's audio saying, "See me." Here is the audio enhanced. Come down here. Come and stand in front of me. Come down here. Come and stand in front of me. I need to speak to those of you that are still here. Because I want your help. We need to know what this entity is. Can you help us, please, and tell us what it is that's here? I ask for help of the spirits of those that are still here, asking what the Mothman really is, and we receive a reply saying, "I think it's insect." Here is the audio with enhancements. Can you help us, please, and tell us what it is that's here? Can you help us, please, and tell us what it is that's here?